have pretty nice clean paws on Miss Emmy. We did all 4 paws, and now we're going to work on her hocks. The hocks are this area right back here. And we're going to trim them up, and we're going to use the scorpion thinning shears to thin her hocks, to straighten them up. We want them nice and shaped up. You don't want all this long hair hanging off, and you want it to be at a nice angle on her leg. You don't want to take a lot off. You want a nice angle with her ankle and down. See how much better that looks compared to the other one. Okay, now we're going to do this one. I am using a greyhound comb. I'm using the thinner side of the teeth to brush up her hocks. Okay, her hocks are nice and tight and clipped. We have no straggly hairs, so that looks nicer. All right, the next thing that we're going to work on, is her tail and her britches. As you can see, we have not messed with her in a long time, and I do believe my partner Ken has been clipping on her tail, so I've got my work cut out for me. So the first thing we're going to do is get all the tangles out of her britches. You see the excess hair coming out. Take them up between your fingers using the thinning shears again, and just clip off the long straggly hairs. You want a nice rounded cut. I'm taking off a little bit more on Emmy because she's blowing her coat from her last litter, and it really needs to be trimmed up nice to get back into shape. You could take off as much as you like. You see that's starting to look better already. You can get your angles. Just use your eye and get the angle, the V angle. We're going to make a V shaped with the thinning shears on the tail, on both sides. Okay, now that we have the shape that we want, we're going to use the thinning shears to shape it up even more, and the greyhound comb. I'm going to take the tail in between my fingers, and you can see the excess hair. I'm just going to do a nice round blending with my thinning shears. We're done with the britches, we're done with the tail, and we're going to move on to taking out some of this excess hair that is on her hind end so that we have a nice smooth top line. And how we do that, again, we're going to use the comb. This time we're going to use the larger teeth on the greyhound comb, and we're going to comb up Okay, now that we got it thinned out, now that we have it all thinned out, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to shape it the way that we want it. We want it to go a nice round down her hindquarters, down in the back of her tail. We want it to nicely fold down. We don't want it sticking up, so we're going to get rid of anything that looks like it's going to stick up. We're going to use the smaller teeth of the greyhound comb, and we're going to cut at an angle down because we want it to smooth down. Only take off the uneven ends. Okay, you only want to take off the straggly ends, and you want a nice angle, rounded angle on the back here.
In a previous video, Phyllis demonstrates how to make a smiley face on Zach's bottom. We share this video with you to give you still yet another perspective on grooming the tail area. Okay, this is the before shot. You can see how long his hair is all around his tail area. Phyllis starts the trimming process utilizing the thinning shears. First, she finds his little tail nub. She pinches it up and watch her as she trims the excess hair away. She clips it a little at a time and brushes it down to see how it lays and what it will look like. Phyllis reminds us that one good thing about the thinning shears is that they are user-friendly. When clipping with them, they do not need to be totally compressed. You can just clip a little at a time without compressing the shears. She believes that these shears make light trimming both safe and easy. Phyllis snips away on both sides of Zach's tail area. She clips at an angle on each side to get a smiley face on Zach's bottom. In no time at all, she gets a really nice finished look on her Aussie's tail, her favorite boy, Zach. She takes her time clipping and trimming and brushing. She moves slowly and doesn't take off too much at one time. Before you know it, she has a really nice finished product.